When Porsche released the Cayenne, car enthusiasts lost their minds. An SUV from Porsche, but it sold, and it sold a lot because there was a whole market of people who didn't care that it wasn't a track card. They wanted the design, the badge, and presence. This keyboard is a version of that. Everyone, welcome back to Scoop Bar. If you're new around here, Scoop Bar is a passion project that my friend V and I run alongside our full-time jobs. If you enjoy what we do, a like and subscribe goes a long way. And if you're interested in picking up anything we talk about, affiliate links are always in the description. This video is sponsored by Keygeek, but as always, all of our thoughts are our own, including the good and the bad. So this is the Nooir K2 or Klavier II. It's a 65% board with an integrated wrist rest, tri-mode connectivity, Bluetooth 2.4 GHz, and USB-C wired, with 8,000 Hz polling rate on wired. The body is aluminum alloy, stainless steel, and tempered glass. It's VIA compatible, and the PCB is hot swappable. And off the cuff, two things you need to know. This is ISO layout only, so no ANSI option. If you're an ANSI user, this is not going to be for you. And the wrist rest is built into the case, so you can't remove it. If you don't like wrist rest, this is also a pass for you. Pricing on Kickstarter is $9.99 USD for White Veil and $13.50 for the Nocturne, which is limited to 199 units with individual numbering. Both are barebone kits, so no switches, no keycaps, no stabilizers. The add-on keycaps run $99 USD and the amber switches are $110. So you're looking at over $1,200 or more in just the White Veil alone. Nooir is a small independent studio based out of Hong Kong, distributed through Keygeek. You might know them from the Nolan N1, which was this nutty 75% board with its own magnetic suspension system. That one won Best Keyboard at Mode 2024 Meetup. They also did the Control Panel 1. Every product they put out kind of has the same DNA. A lot of focus on aesthetics, unusual internal structures, and a big price tag. The K2 has been in development since December 2024. It went through the full industrial design, structural validation, and prototyping verification cycle before hitting Kickstarter. This isn't a napkin sketch that went straight into crowdfunding. It seems like they did their homework. The whole selling point of the K2 is the Wing 2.0 system. There are 8 individual modules inside this board, each made of 27 CNC machine stainless steel parts, wave springs, repulsive magnets, lifting platforms, side rails, the works. What they do is let you adjust the typing feel from soft to firm in really small increments, about 0.1 newtons per adjustment. You can tune the whole board evenly or dial different zones to different firmness levels. To get to the modules, the top case flips open with a magnetic latch, kind of like opening a grand piano lid. Everything inside moves in sync when you lift it. It's a nice little mechanical movement piece. Now, here's my honest take. This is an expensive solution to a problem that already has cheap answers. Different durometer gaskets get you soft, medium, or firm typing feel for a fraction of the cost. So what does the Wing 2.0 add for the end user that a gasket swap doesn't? The fine grain control is real, feel. You can feel the difference as you turn the adjustment, but I think for most people, picking between 2 or 3 gasket hardness gets you 90% the way there, and the remaining 10% costs you a lot of money here. Now, that doesn't take away from the engineering and the work. The amount of thought and machining that went into this is clear, but impressive engineering and worth it for the typing experience are two different things in my opinion. The white veil has a powder coated white finish with glitter particles in it. It sounds a little tacky on paper, but in person it's actually pretty subtle. It reflects light without being over the top. The finish quality is good, clean coat, crisp red accent line, sturdy glass panel. The whole board is based on a piano theme, piano string arrays on the bottom and front, the piano lid top, and optional pianist keycaps with their glossy black translucent finish. They kind of went all in on this concept. That said, this is a pretty polarizing design. Some people will look at it and see a beautiful piece of design, while others will find it too much, and both reactions are valid. The Geek Hack interest check had someone immediately call it gaudy and someone else call it elegant. That pretty much sums it up. I built this with all the foam installed since that's what the manual instructions said to do, and the typing feel with a suspension dialed to the softer side is genuinely pretty nice. Cushion without being mushy. The PC plate contributes to a deeper, softer sound profile. This is not an aggressive or clacky board. One practical tip: if you're swapping out switches, I'd take the whole assembly out rather than doing it in place. The suspension system, the hot swap sockets can pop out more easily if you're not pushing straight down. It's a good habit to have regardless, but it is especially here. This is a showpiece keyboard. Think along the lines of Geist Machine or Work Louder boards, designed for products where the visual and craft are the main thing. The typing experience is considered, the suspension system works, but it's not why you buy this. And frankly, acoustic tuning flexibility has taken a backseat to the former two. If you want the best typing experience for $1,000, frankly, there are better options. But if you want something that looks like nothing else on your desk, a conversational piece, and you appreciate mechanical complexity as its own reward, and you're an ISO user, this is one of the more interesting options out there. You're paying for the art and engineering, and as long as you know that going in, you'll be happy with it. That's it from me. Hit like if you enjoyed this review, sub if you loved it. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next build.